Good morning, class. Have you guys ever heard of the story The Kissing Hand? Or have you guys ever read it before? No? Okay. Well, today we're going to read the story called The Kissing Hand. Now, The Kissing Hand is by Audrey Penn, and it was illustrated by Ruth E. Harper and Nancy M. Leake. And it's a story about this little guy. His name's Chester Raccoon. And it's his first day of kindergarten, and he's very scared to go to kindergarten. He wants to stay at home. And so he tells his mom, and his mom does something to make him feel better. So we're going to read this story today. So last class, we discussed our new vocabulary words for this week. And can anybody tell me what they were? Very good. So now these vocabulary words have a lot to do with the book we're going to be reading, The Kissing Hand, and you'll see in a moment. But I'd like to go over the vocabulary words and the definitions with you before we do that. So can anybody tell me what nervous means? Okay. Nervous is feelings, it means feelings of worry. So if you're nervous about a test, you're feeling worried about the test. Can anybody tell me what friends means? All right, friends means two or more people who like each other and are familiar with each other. We have a lot of friends in our class, don't we? All right. Comfort. Can anybody tell me what comfort means? Okay. Comfort is acts or words that bring good feelings. So things that you do for someone or things that you say that will make somebody feel comforted. They have a good feeling. It's like a warm feeling. That's what comfort means. All right. What about strange? Can anybody tell me about strange? All right. Strange is a weird or unfamiliar feeling. So if you've never seen something before and you don't understand it, you may think that it's strange or weird. Okay. What about brave? Can anybody tell me about brave? Okay. Brave is to do or handle something without being scared. So brave is doing something that you're nervous or scared of, and doing it anyway and being brave about it. Okay. Can anybody tell me what fear means? Fear is a strong feeling of danger or that something bad is about to happen. So the feeling is feeling scared. Fear is what you're afraid of. So it's a strong feeling like something bad is about to happen. Okay. And what about scared? Okay. Scared is having bad feelings or feeling unsafe. So this is the feeling you get when you're experiencing fear. Okay. What about wonderful? Can anybody tell me about wonderful? Okay. Wonderful is exciting or overly good. So it's not just good, it's wonderful. It's better than good. Okay. And those are our vocabulary words. Okay, now we're going to read the story, The Kissing Hand. And while we read, we're going to keep in mind our vocabulary words because remember, they have to do with the theme of the story and they're mentioned a lot in the story. Okay. Chester the raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried. "I don't want to go to school," he told his mother. "I want to stay at home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. May I please stay home with you?" Mrs. Raccoon took Chester by the hand and nuzzled him on the ear. "Sometimes we all have to do things we don't want to do," she told him gently, "even if they seem strange and scary at first. But you will love school once you start. You'll make new friends and play with new toys, read new books and swing on swings. Besides, I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem warm and cozy as your days at home." Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. "A secret? What kind of secret?" "A very old secret," said Mrs. Raccoon. "I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from hers. It's called the kissing hand." "The kissing hand?" asked Chester. "What's that?" "I'll show you." Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester right in the middle of his palm. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand, up his arm, and into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with a special warmth. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. Now, she told Chester, whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand on your cheek and think, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. And that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty, warm thoughts. She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped her fingers around the kiss. Now do be careful not to lose it, she teased him. But don't worry, when you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick. Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he wanted, even to school. That night, Chester stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. Give me your hand, he told her. Chester took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. Next, he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. Now you have a kissing hand too, he told her, and with a gentle goodbye and I love you, Chester turned and danced away. The end. I hope you all enjoyed reading that story. I know I did. So if you notice while we were reading, we know Chester had a good day at school because of his kissing hand, but we don't really know what happened while he was at school. So I wrote this short story about Chester's first day at school. It's called Chester's First Day of School. And in between the sentences, you'll notice there's these little blanks here. So we're going to read this story. And as we read, we're going to pause at the blanks. And I'm going to ask you guys which vocabulary word you think goes best in that blank. And then I'm going to have you put the word next to the vocabulary word, or next to the blank. Okay. So, Chester's first day of school. Chester loved the kissing hand his mother gave him. Now he knows what his mother's love would go with him wherever he went. When he first got to school, he met his teacher. Chester's teacher was very blank when she spoke to the class. Now, which of these vocabulary words do you think best describes Chester's teacher? I think it would be wonderful because it's more than good. So, Chester's seat in the class was next to two raccoons named Henry and Liza. Chester worried about acting blank around them because he was blank. So we're looking for two vocabulary words. So what do you think he's worried about looking in front of them? He's probably worried about looking strange because they don't know him. They're unfamiliar with him. And this makes him feel nervous. Okay. As the school day went on, the three raccoons became blank. So out of these vocabulary words, the best vocabulary word to put there would be friends, because they are a group of two or more people that like each other. At recess, Chester and his classmates went to the playground to slide down the slides. Chester started to feel blank as he watched everyone go down the slide one by one. So, we already used nervous, but it would be a word like nervous because he is scared to go down the slide. He looked at his kissing hand and felt his mother's love. This made Chester feel blank as he slid down the slide just like the rest of his classmates. So, if he's feeling scared, what word would describe him feeling better about going down the slide? Well, I'd say comfort, because it's warm feelings and making someone feel better. Chester was blank and had nothing to blank. This one's a little tough, but we're going to use context clues. So he was scared and nervous about going down the slide. So Chester was brave for confronting something he was scared of and had nothing to be scared of. So, fear.